All right, guys. So our next topic is it's an interesting rumor, in all honesty, and it has a lot of implications that come along with it. And this just dropped here a little while ago, where I believe, let me pull this up so I don't forget here the name. The Daily Mail, who was quoting the Daily Telegraph. I think Daily Telegraph is a uh, British or UK based like newspaper, and then the Daily Mail being the online outlet. They are reporting that Jennifer Lawrence may potentially be Sue Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four MCU movie. And when I say this has a couple of implications, I'm mainly referring to WandaVision and Pietro. Okay? Because if you think about this, she played Mystique in the very same X-Men movies that this Pietro, Evan Peters Pietro, or Peter, if you want, because he was called Peter in those movies. But either way, she was an X-Men character in those very same movies that he is appearing in now in the MCU as this Quicksilver guy. And I would believe if they were actually going to go this route, that this would kind of completely debunk the fact that that's not the Fox Quicksilver, in my opinion. Otherwise, though, if this is true, she's a good actress, so I mean, I'd be all for it. Elsewise, I don't know. I just still think a lot of people are going to be real pissed off that it's not John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Everybody's just so honed in on that.
Yeah, people are set on it.
Like, everybody is set on it. Like, everybody is. So, I don't know how that's going to go. And I guess it is good to note, too, that I don't know what other information the Daily Telegraph has from this, because it literally, like, says in this article, I don't really buy this article for the most part, because they say, like, it loosely says pretty much Jennifer Lawrence is reportedly going to Australia, and that's where they're going to be reportedly filming Fantastic Four. So she's playing Sue Storm, obviously. Like, she's playing Sue Storm because she's going to Australia. Like,
why else? Why would anybody go to Australia besides that?
Yeah,
yeah, really.
I mean, because there is literally no other reason to go, right? So
it's not beautiful or anything.
Yeah,
there are no other movies filming down there. There's no other, vacation spots. There's.
I mean, they're filming Thor: Love and Thunder in Australia right now too. Is she going to be in Thor? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really buy this. Not just because of that, but there's really not a lot of. If that's all you're going to give me, I'm going to go ahead and say, like, maybe you're reaching and making a bit of some assumptions, kind of like the engineer, right? We'll get into it in a little bit, but kind of like the whole aerospace engineer thing. Like, maybe it's not what you think it's going to be. Like, maybe you're making something out of nothing. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with this. But otherwise, she's a great actress, so it'd be cool. Like, I'd be fine with it in the end. So, what do you guys think about this? You think this thing has any weight to it, or?
I don't know if it has anything to do with like the Fox and Marvel thing, like you were saying, but I mean, it's just so hard to say nowadays when like rumors get started. It's no different than the Ezra Bridger thing. It's just like somebody said that that might be happening. So
yeah, I know a guy who knows a guy who knew a guy who saw something on Reddit.
His brother's uncle's friend's cousin saw it.
Yeah.
But he's a reliable guy.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like anybody that does like speculation casting, they'll find any tenuous connection between a person and a location or a film, and they'll go ahead and throw it out there as like a speculation, because then you're able to say, "Oh, did it do it? Oh man."
Oh, you're good. I had you on full screen and everything just for it.
Cool for a second.
And then you're able to say like, "Oh, I was right. I got the scoop on that one," and like get your. But what about the 500 other ones you threw out there that had nothing, that weren't valid, that were incorrect? Like, I feel like it's kind of a spaghetti against the wall type deal where people just throw whatever they can out there in hopes that they get one right, just for the. I don't even know what the bragging rights of getting one.
The online internet points, man.
Yeah.
All them updates and stuff.
I called that.
Yeah. I said that they cited me, man. Like, that was me.
Yeah.
Jeff from Wisconsin said that.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely it seems a bit spaghetti on the wall to me. That's exactly what I was gonna say. If they're just throwing something up, they're gonna see what sticks. There's plenty of
Mhm.
places out there that do it. Some a lot more than others. Like I ain't gonna name names or anything, but like you know who you are and you know who we're talking about. You know,
Mhm.
like there's a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
But not
It's
to say they're always wrong, but that the point is, it's the win loss ratio there, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Killed to
It's
death.
definitely fun. It's definitely fun to speculate about. Like I hadn't considered that they would use that Jennifer Lawrence would be up for that role, but I think she fits the role fairly well. Um, I still go back to the fact that I don't think Kevin Feige is going to be using these characters. Although that my belief may be out the window with what's going on in WandaVision, however that plays out. But I just believe that Kevin Feige wants to cast his own people in these roles. Like I'm trying to think of
Well, if she's coming to play
if I
Sue Storm, that would be on his fruition. Fruition.
sure she wouldn't be playing the same character, but it's still bringing somebody in that's played in the MCU before. I guess he did it with he did it with Chris Evans.
And
So
Jay Jonah. Jay Jonah
Yeah.
Jameson.
yeah,
That's very
yeah,
true.
but Jay Jonah is playing the exact same character, and he was almost perfectly. I mean, not
J.K.
almost. He was
Simmons is made for
perfectly
that
cast.
role.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
J.K. Simmons is Jay Jonah Jameson.
Like in real life.
Exactly.
Like
So
that's
I
him.
think that one going back to our Man of Steel talk from earlier, you'd be hard pressed to find another actor out there that would play that role as well. So I think that one was kind of a no brainer. But
I think Michael Keaton would make a good Jay Jonah Jameson, honestly.
Yeah.
you
Like,
think so?
yeah, like you want to see me get nuts? Like I could totally see that guy playing Jay Jonah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
Like,
see
whoa.
that.
That's good stuff. He plays a. That's why I always thought like this is off topic, but with the Michael Keaton thing, I always thought that he would have been a better Joker than a Batman. Because I look at him
Yeah.
in Beetlejuice, and then like
He
even
like
that
is the
scene, like
Joker in
that's
Beetlejuice,
what I'm saying. I
basically.
was like,
Mhm.
how could you have him? Like, how did you not know that like he was perfect? Like he was a good Batman too, but like he was perfect for the Joker. Like
Yeah.
at least I don't know.
I
I think
think
he would have
they
been perfect
I
for the
think they had
Joker.
Jack Nicholson cast first for that movie though, didn't they?
I don't know, but he's the reason that it brought a little bit of weight to the movie. That's for sure.
Could
Mhm.
you imagine
Well,
if
and
the
that's
roles are switched though? Jack Nicholson as Batman?
I mean, I actually could, yeah. I mean, especially back in the day, like I don't know, but it would maybe have been
Be
a
a
little
crazy
bit too
Batman.
late in his years to play Batman at that point. But I mean,
True.
5, 10 years sooner, maybe, like,
Mhm.
like for sure, like that early Jack would have done, like Shining Jack.
Yeah.
He could have been
Be a
Batman.
crazy
He
Batman
could have
though.
been
Like,
Batman though. He was in good shape too. Like he would have been good.
yeah.
Strong jaw. It would have worked. It would have worked for sure. But yeah, I don't know about this Sue Storm thing, man. I don't think it's.
We were
I don't
talking
know.
off camera before we got into this. You touched on it some, like the John Krasinski, Emily. I mean,
Mhm.
would you guys be disappointed if it's not them? Are you kind of hanging all your hopes on the fact that those two get the roles?
I love John Krasinski. And Emily Blunt's good too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like lose sleep over it, but
I think
be a good
the
casting.
reason people bought so much into the John Krasinski Emily Blunt thing, at least in my opinion, and this is kind of like because like I'd be fine if they're not. Like I would love to. I think they're both phenomenal, talents in general. Like John's being like killing it with directing right now with like a Quiet Place 2 and all that. Emily Blunt starring in those movies as well. It's kind of like lightning in a bottle if they did play respectively Reed Richards and Sue Storm because they are married in real life. So like
Yeah.
they definitely would have the on-screen chemistry. Like that would be
Oh
and
yeah.
you saw them in A Quiet Place and like they carried a movie without any dialogue.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're
Right.
talented people. They could totally do it. And then the fact that John Krasinski was almost Captain America,
That's crazy.
I think that's kind of what has really lent people to like really believe it because it's not very far fetched. Like Marvel and Kevin Feige were already looking at him for a role at one point, and
Mhm.
they like to like Tom Hiddleston was auditioning for Thor, but they were like, you know what, this isn't good for you. But how would you want to play Loki? They stay in house a lot. Like they know who they like. So it's I don't know. I could see that
Yeah.
being why a lot of people have like really honed in on it. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like that's what I want to see happen, but I'm not gonna be disappointed if it's like not, because
Yeah.
in the end, we always talk about it. Marvel has always killed it with their casting. So
Yeah.
whoever they get, I'm sure will be good regardless. So I would just be trust Kevin Feige.
Well, I also asked you guys, would you be disappointed if they cast one and not the other?
Ooh.
Like if they brought John Krasinski in and didn't bring Emily Blunt on board, or if they brought Emily Blunt on board but didn't bring John, how would you guys feel about them splitting that couple and
They're like the
only
husband
one of
and
them?
wife acting super team. Like,
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
do you think that they would do it? Do you think if I mean all these questions are posed under the assumption that they want to do it in the first place, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it
I'll
could
tell you
happen.
what, I would probably be. It's weird. I don't know why I'm thinking like this, but if they were to get Emily Blunt to play Sue Storm, I'd be fine if they didn't have weren't able to get John for whatever reason. But if they were able to get John and then didn't get Emily, that would upset me. But the other
Yeah.
way around would not bother me as much, at least in
No.
my head, for
No.
some reason. I don't know why.
okay.
Maybe I don't know. Like I could see Emily Blunt doing it on her own and being
Mhm.
fine. But if they have Reed Richards as John Krasinski there and they didn't bring Emily Blunt in, I just think that would be like so odd. Even though I feel like if anything, based on what I just said before, them having like a pre-existing relationship with John, it would make more sense for him to show up and Emily not. I don't
Mhm.
know. 'Cause that's the only other thing they run into is they are a husband and wife in real life. So they got like kids, like they're
Sure,
both going to be
yeah.
doing this movie. Like it's like it might be kind of just hard for them to do. Maybe they're
Somebody's
balancing
got to
their
watch the
schedules.
kids.
Yeah, I don't know how they operate. So like I'm sure they could afford to have like a nanny, but that might not be what they want to do. Maybe they want to see their kids, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Any
I
chance
don't
they bring Jenna Fisher back to play Sue Storm?
You get a lot
You
of
get
like
Yeah.
get a
John
little
Krasinski.
office reunion
It'd
and
be good. I'd be.
recast.
I mean, I could probably. That's the kind of thing I would have loved to have happened if they were already established. If they had like them pop up in WandaVision, but
Yeah.
then like they go in the barrier, and then all of a sudden it's fucking Jim and Pam. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that
they
would
change
be,
into
that would be
them.
amazing.
Like that would be cool. But
Yeah.
Whenever I see John Krasinski in anything outside of The Office, I always just expect him to look at the camera like,
yeah, exactly. No, that's good stuff.
To be
That's why.
fair, at one point, I would have been like, John Krasinski cannot like. Had they cast him as Captain America, way back when, I would have probably been really in my own head because I learned my lesson, years ago about don't judge actors before you see him in the role. But I would have questioned my own head, like the dude from The Office. Like I love him in The Office, but can he really play a superhero? But man, after seeing him in like, what's the Amazon, the Jack Ryan show?
Yeah, Jack
Show
Ryan and
he's
13
on.
Hours.
13 hours. Yeah. He got jacked for the,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in really
he
good shape
he
anymore.
he brings it on the drama scale, so
Yeah.
and the action scale. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a hell of an actor.
A
Like,
Quiet Place.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
super dramatic.
Oh,
Yeah.
heartbreaking in Quiet Place.
Oh,
Man.
yeah. Like she's like, dude, for sure. He's a very talented guy. And like I said, he's
Oh,
killing
yeah.
it behind the camera right now too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like
Multi-talented.
yeah, that's the thing. The dude comes out and directs A Quiet Place, which I believe was it was at least his first feature film. He may have directed something else smaller than that before that, but comes out and kills it with a movie where there's like no dialogue. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to make a good horror movie. Like it's also like horror. A lot of people say is like the easiest genre to kind of cut your teeth on, but it's hard to make a good horror movie, just like it's hard to make a good comedy movie. And the dude literally killed it in a movie where, like, again, there's no dialogue, and you're just
Yeah.
sitting there, you're glued to the screen the whole time, like you're being quiet, like like it was.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, it was really good. I'm excited to see that the second one if it ever comes out. God, that was supposed to come out last year too.
Yep.
Jeez. But yeah, the question is, guys, what do you think about this? Albeit, it's kind of an iffy report. It may very well be some spaghetti on the wall business, but it's still fun to speculate. Still fun to speculate because again, if this is true, Jennifer Lawrence is a very talented actress, so I would be on board with it. But I guess you would have to. I don't know. It's like then we lose the whole John Krasinski Emily Blunt thing. Like I don't know. Guys, just let us know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you going to be upset if the Reed Richards and Sue Storm are cast and it's not John Krasinski and Emily Blunt? Or if, like John said, what if they do one and not the other? Let us know which would make you more upset down in the comment section below.